effective, affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
In a world where quality business information is needed, we bring you On the Mic with Mike, the leading social enterprise business show in RVA. Join Mike King, the partnership guru, daily at 1 p.m. on WJFN 100.5 FM, 92.7 FM, and 8:20 a.m. as he delivers game changers in Metro RVA. On the Mic with Mike showcases how business can help make society better. He discusses tech, culture, innovation, best business practices, and highlighting area nonprofits. Join Mike at 1 p.m. Monday through Friday, because it is the place where the best and brightest come to chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike, RVA. It's the leading daily social business enterprise show in the Central Virginia area. I'm your host, Mike King, and I appreciate you being here with me. The views expressed here are mine, have no connection to, support of, or agreement with any other host, information, or ads on the station. I don't work for the station. My program just airs here on a daily basis, and I'm appreciative of that. Join me as this cutting-edge show uplifts the community and showcases Central Virginia in a different way. The sound you're listening to are emanating from the Mike King Biz Studio, which is the global epicenter of social enterprise business. Joining us today, as always, is the man on the wheels of steel, the super producer, Al Green, and we can be reached by calling 804-778-8888. On the Mic with Mike, we highlight partnerships, people, social enterprise business organizations, as well as touch on issues of the day. It is the 2nd of February, so happy Black History Month for the second day. So just going to get that out the way. To get more information about me, you can follow me on all social platforms at Mike King Biz. That's hashtag Mike King Biz and hashtag On the Mic with Mike RVA. We'd like to thank our show sponsors for the first hour. Tom Childry, the credit card guy. If you have credit card merchant services, Tom Childry's the man. He will be able to help you get through the problems, give you some solutions with that. Tom Childry can be reached by calling 804-503-8472. Our second hour sponsor is Andy Taylor and Junk Luggers. So if you want things disappearing around the house, I'm talking about items, not people. So Andy Taylor and Junk Luggers can help you. Andy Taylor, 804-376-8550. 8558. They provide excellent service in the community, both of those guys, and I appreciate them for rocking and rolling with me. Along the way, we have to pay bills because the microphone isn't free, plus my grandkids need stuff. So please support our advertisers and our sponsors as you hear them coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the best business radio program. I try and tell you, tune in every day because we bring the game changers to you everywhere from Charlottesville to Tidewater to the Charlottesville area and south to Petersburg. We have the biggest footprint in the area. I'm your host, Mike King, 1 to 3 p.m., WJFN Radio. We got the game changers with us. We got the group here today. So we got the Hampton Roads Regional Black Chamber of Commerce who's with us. That is going to be outstanding. So we have Blair with us. We also have Chris Jones, who's an author, podcast extraordinaire. We have Saraellen, who is our big coach. She's going to be here. She's the one who teaches me about she teaches me all about hashtags. And then Ryann Lofty, who is here from the Small Business Development Economic Center. So up next, we'd like to welcome Blair to the program. Blair, welcome.
Thank you so much, Mike, for having me.
Sorry, that's a mouthful. I got to get that out of the way before we get started. I always joke with people, that's my disclaimer. So kind of got to do that these days. You got to, you just got to be safe out there. Well, welcome to the program. There's a lot of big things going on over in the 757. I'd wanted to get with you guys to talk about what's going on. So give people a rundown who you are, what you do, and then we'll dive into some of those things.
Yes. So, as you said, Mike, I am Blair Durham. I am the co-founder and president of Black Brand. We are the region's Black Chamber of Commerce. And as you would imagine, Mike, we're focused on all things business development for the Black business community. So that looks like programs and events and conferences, and we've got a radio show and podcast of our own, an app, etc. So just a host of activity to support our business ecosystem here in the 757.
And how far out do you guys cover? So
Yeah,
it says regional.
So I guess the end of our region, if I were heading toward Richmond, would probably be Williamsburg, right, and all points nearby, out to, say, Isle of Wight, Surrey County, Suffolk, and then back over to Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, etc. As well.
Okay.
I would say cities, but it's more cities than that.
I understand. So you were minding your business. What was the idea behind starting a chamber of commerce down that area, and what had people done before you came about with that idea?
Yeah, good question. So Black Brand is actually the third iteration of a Black Chamber of Commerce for the Hampton Roads region. So with the blessing of those that got started before us, we kind of picked up that mantle and have carried it forward for the last 4.5 years. But in terms of our inspiration for doing it, my background is actually in both psychology and interdisciplinary studies. So as a student at Virginia Tech, I was focused on social ills. I was starting campaigns. And
you were that student.
I was.
So you were the rabble-rouser student saying, something's not right here and we got to do something about it.
A little bit.
Okay.
I hung out with that crowd, right? They allowed me to take minutes at the meetings and, help kind of behind the scenes and things like that. I wasn't on the very front of the thing, but
you
I
were
was
at the meetings.
Yeah, I was there, and what I realized was, because I had the pleasure of kind of getting the training, right, the boots on the ground as a student activist, but then I was also studying, like I was taking all the courses that focused on race and racism and social inequality and blah, blah, blah. So I was getting like this, and I was like, man, what am I going to do with this information once I leave this environment? And it took me the better part of 11 years to get the answer to that question.
Wow.
Husband and I, so 2016, so I graduated 2005, did all kinds of stuff, meeting people and teaching and counseling and whatever. But then when I met him and kind of saw where his heart was and listened to some of the poetry he was writing, I think we knew we were going to have to do something, in the space. It wasn't going to be enough to just talk about activism. We were going to have to get involved. And so we started corralling folks, convening folks, trying to figure out, who really, was quote unquote about that life of Black empowerment, as it were. And that's how we got underway the summer of 2016. I don't know if you remember, it was a lot like 2020,
Yes.
A lot of police brutality, and just, that was when we first started with the hashtags and the names, and it was just crazy, and Hidden Colors 4 came out that year. You remember Hidden Colors, that documentary series? Remember that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we kind of took our cues there and realized it wasn't going to be about protesting. It wasn't going to, like for us, it wasn't going to, not to say that protesting, that has space, but for us, it was going to be about how we can focus on economics, and even beyond just the Buy Black piece. Buy Black is cool, but that's a consumer activity. We need more business. We couldn't, if we bought Black all day long, we still probably would not have purchased a house or purchased gas or any of those essentials, right? Because we just don't have those businesses. And so we set out to kind of do both, to help promote Black-owned businesses, but at the same time, to help with development, to help focus on economics in general for the Black community.
Good, ladies and gentlemen, the time is 1:16. It's Blair Durham from the Hampton Roads Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. What is the mood down your way now compared to June, July, when people were smack dab in the middle of it. What's the mood and the word that you guys are feeling from your members?
Good question. So we just came out of an incredible members week. We hosted, 9, 10 events virtually. Again, bringing folks together, celebrating their accomplishments in business. We actually hosted an event called the State of Black Entrepreneurship.
That's what I posted today. I saw that. That was
yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, really cool. And so we did that because there's kind of a depressing narrative out there. I mean, if you look at the statistics that McKinsey put out, 41% of Black-owned businesses closed, in the first couple of months of the pandemic.
Yes.
Right. So what we said was, you know what? Let's contact some of our business owners that have been accessing capital, that got PPP and EIDL, that were able to take advantage of some of the state opportunities and some of the local opportunities, and have figured out how to pivot, and not just that, but how to thrive during these times. And so that's what we did. We highlighted 7 business owners. They were able to tell their stories, what it was that kept them afloat, what new products and services they've added. Several have opened new locations. And we decided that our narrative was, you know what, we are surviving and thriving. That's the word that we're putting out there. It's really a cause in terms of just inspiring hope, because guess what? If you're an entrepreneur, your marriage is not to whatever the thing is that you're doing right now. Your marriage is to solving problems. And the pandemic has brought about new problems to solve. And so how can you position yourself to solve a problem, right?
That's true. I always ask people when they talk about being entrepreneurs, and some people are serial entrepreneurs. I ask them, and everybody laughs when I ask them, can a serial entrepreneur ever be monogamous? Can you fall in love with that one idea, that one thing, and it stops you in your tracks, and you stop running around trying to be whatever an entrepreneur is?
I don't know, man. Who have to ask? We might have to pull a Steve Jobs or somebody to answer that question.
Because if it's in you, if you're a player,
mm-hmm.
you're gonna I'd love this thing, and then all of a sudden on a random Saturday, you see something, and an idea pops into your head, and you try your best. But here you go, start thinking about that thing, and trouble.
It's a good question. I think for me, I've had to figure out, because I'm definitely more of a social entrepreneur, right? Than just, oh my gosh, I see an opportunity kind of. I'm like, how can we solve a problem for the community? So I feel like, okay, if I can build something, a brand that has a large enough kind of umbrella,
okay,
maybe I can do several different things in there,
True.
Like the sky's kind of the limit in there. And that way, I don't have the appearance of, okay, this dude owns ATM machines, he got a couple of healthcare businesses, they open up a beauty supply. Like, wait a minute, what is your thing, But no disrespect, right? Because some of my favorite entrepreneurs are those that, with everything that they have, they're managing and mastering multiple businesses. So
that's true. It's kind of like me having a radio show. It's kind of like a variety show. So we'll talk to you. We'll talk to an author, podcaster. We'll have the person from a circus on with the SBA. Maybe it's kind of like a little ADD type of thing for a person who has a radio show. And look, can you hold on a minute? I know that you're tight on time. We got to take a short break. We'll be back on the other side with Blair from the Hampton Roads Regional Black Chamber of Commerce.
Great.
I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy with Beyond. I believe it should not be confusing or expensive for your business to accept credit cards. As a social enterprise business advocate, my mission gets you paid faster with fair rates, helping your business grow. We can be contacted at area code 804-503-8472, 804-503-8472, or at getbeyond.com. Again, I'm Tom Childry, the credit card guy. Quick, easy collect. We make it easier than you expect.
Hi, Chef Michelle here of Mama Michelle's Cafe, home of the Soul Rolls, located at 10811 Hull Street Road. Give us a call at 804-912-1644 or order online at mamachells.com. Ask about our off-site catering options as well as our online ordering through Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Follow us on all social media at Mama Michelle's Cafe. That's Mama Michelle's, Soul south of the James. Mention Mike on the mic and get a free dessert on us. Special rules apply.
Are you tired of dating online? Bloom Matchmaking offers a safe and effective alternative. Every match is vetted and background checked. Bloom Matchmaking offers a personalized experience just for you. Check us out at bloommatchmaking.com or give us a call at 804-205-5063. Let Bloom take the stress out of dating. Mention On the Mic with Mike and receive 20% off. That number again is 804-205-5063. Bloom Matchmaking, where love grows.
Yes, this is Dontrese Brown. We're Brown Baylor. We are a creative strategy marketing agency down in Shockoe Bottom. We make history by curating experiences that matter. Please follow us on all of our social media, The Brown Baylor. You can also follow us on our website, brownbaylor.com.
Brown Baylor, hidden in plain sight. Sponsors of the On the Mic with Mike Swagger music series. Hear brand new stars every Friday at 2 p.m. only on the Mic with Mike and WJFN, 92.7 and 100.5 FM.
Oh, hello. I'm Louise Keaton from the Whistle Stop Theater Company. You're listening to On the Mic with Mike.
Every day.
At 1 p.m. Cheers.
Mike King isn't a businessman. He's a businessman with his own talk show. On the Mic with Mike, the best business radio program in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on the Mic with Mike. You heard the man. This is the best business radio program around. I'm your host, Mike King. We're here with Blair from the Hampton Roads Regional Chamber. It's the Hampton Roads Black Regional Chamber of Commerce. How's the interaction with the chambers of commerce down there?
That's a fair question. Because, we want to create that synergy, right? And recognizing that we have very different roles as chambers. Commerce, right? The Hampton Roads Chamber, largest chamber in the state, is known for its focus on big business, large corporations, whatever have you, and smaller business as well, to the extent that you can benefit from the kinds of events and things that they do, and the partnerships that they have. Our chamber is different because our community is different, right? We understand the needs of our community perhaps better. We live in the world of the analytics and the data surrounding the Black business community. So, that's our laser focus, is how can we improve conditions specifically for this community. Whereas the laser focus of the other is, how can we generally, which often means that we get overlooked, how can we generally improve conditions, economic conditions for employees? And so I will say that it's still pleasant, it's still cordial. We've partnered on events, we've been featured jointly on programs such as these. I know in these times we're looking at, okay, wow, look at what the larger corporations are doing in terms of trying to support the Black business community. Perhaps there's a way we can partner to obtain access to some of this and do something very special for the Black business community. And so I'm very careful there, wanting to be strategic, making sure that I'm not over leveraged, right?
I understand.
In a play that just helps them. And wanting to make sure that ultimately that our businesses do see some impact if we're going to, really work together in that fashion. I hope that was Hope that was answering your question.
Politically correct. You know, you danced a excellent job. That Virginia Tech education came in handy there. Like, so here, really quickly, so I came to Richmond in 2014, didn't know the business climate here. And I always hear about people in Richmond talking about the 757. How does the 757 view the Richmond area from the business standpoint?
You know, good question. What I noticed, it was probably summer of last year, I saw a campaign taking place that is looking to kind of open up this commerce, right, this activity between 757 and 804. And it was just talking about, you're right up the road, 100 miles, and promoting various restaurants and activity happening in Richmond. I said, wow, that's really clever, because why not, right? We should be doing business, between the two kind of regions for sure. I would say this, I am a huge fan of Metropolitan Business League.
Shout out to Floyd and those guys there.
Yeah, I work closely with him on a grant piece that was initiated through Dominion Energy for the small women and minority business community. So it's friendly. We work closely with Virginia Community Capital and their folks that are there. I feel like it's all hands on deck when it comes to making sure that the needs of the Black business community are taken care of. If we've got something here, happy to share it there, and vice versa. Is the name of the game.
That's true. I know you're tight on time, so let folks know how they can find you.
Yeah, gosh, I wish I had more. Maybe I can come back.
Wait, we're gonna stop that right there. You're part of the family. You don't understand how things work here.
Okay.
Once you're on, that's the hardest part, is getting in the door.
Getting on, right? Okay.
Because we want to know what you got going on down there, because that idea between going back and forth between 804 and 757.
It's a short trip.
That right there is the move. I want to be part of that, so we got to talk about that one offline some.
I come to Richmond at least once a month.
Well, you got to come to the station and rock with me and Al here. We're up here, So we got Chris Jones, who's here with us today. We're going to talk. He's a podcast expert, a business strategist, a team building expert. We're going to talk to him.
Okay. All right. Well, let me do what you asked. Blackbrand.biz. That's BlackBrand.biz. My podcast is Black Wall Street Today. You can find us anywhere where you stream podcast content, always interviewing entrepreneurs and talking about things relevant to business. So you and I, have that in common, sir. I appreciate the opportunity.
I appreciate you taking the time. I'll connect with you because we got to make this happen. Congratulations on all the things you got going on down there.
Thank you so much.
All right, appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go down and find out what's going on. They're doing some really great things in the 757. Shout out to them for taking the time. We'll be back on the other side. Chris Jones, thanks.
Provided good, honest heating and air, plumbing and gas service and installation at a fair price, and that if he treated staff, technicians, and customers like family, that he'd earn their trust and their business. But that's only part of what makes us such a great team. The other part is you. Call 804-739-4094 or visit us at ascrva.com.
The all-new WJFN has Virginia's biggest footprint. So what's that really mean? Means when COVID's got you home working, teaching, and cooking, WJFN is there to give you a break all day long. The John Fredericks Show at 6 a.m. War Room with Steve Bannon at 10. News On with Miranda Khan at noon. On the Mic with Mike King RVA at 1. And rounding up the afternoon is Sebastian Gorka at 3 p.m. 100.5 FM, 92.7 FM, the all-new WJFN.
Happy Tuesday, I'm Kiara Johnson with your WJFN 100.5 FM weather report brought to you by the Stanley Law Group Weather Center. Richmond, snow will taper off and end this morning, but skies will remain cloudy this afternoon, high 39 degrees, 90% chance of that snow shower there. For your tonight, 29 degrees, mostly cloudy. There's a special weather statement in effect for Richmond. Atlanta, Georgia, a mix of clouds and sun, gusty winds during the morning, high 44. For your evening, clear skies, low 26. Washington, D.C., snow this morning will give way to lingering snow showers in the afternoon. Chance of snow's 90% there. For your evening, cloudy, low around 30. There's a winter weather advisory in effect for Washington, D.C. This has been your weather report brought to you by the Stanley Law Group.
Ponder this. Remember Linus, the Peanuts character who always carried his trusty security blanket? Linus's blanket provided him with comfort and a sense of safety. He carried it with him constantly. Like Linus, we all need to feel safe and secure in our daily life. We need to be able to live a life without fear. Many of us turn to drugs and alcohol to dull our sense of fear. Some of us turn to our electronic devices to provide a way to distract us from the craziness in this world. And some of us turn to food and unhealthy relationships to provide comfort and consolation. The truth is, we will never find complete peace and joy amid the trials of life without going to the source of life, God the Father. Through his Son, Jesus, the path to peace of mind can be found. As Jesus himself said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. It is through him that you can find true peace, a peace that the world can never give. Go to Jesus today and simply ask him to give you the peace that only he can give. I'm Susie Kelly, and I am passionately Catholic.
Welcome to the SBA Weekly Business Tip. I'm Martin Short with the U.S. Small Business Administration, Virginia Richmond District Office. There are primarily 4 ways to fund your business. One way is crowdfunding. Crowdfunding raises funds from many people. Crowdfunders aren't technically investors because they don't receive a shared ownership in the business. Crowdfunding is popular because it's a very low risk for business owners. Crowdfunding platforms are different. Read the fine print and understand all the obligations. To learn more, visit us at sba.gov/VA. We're here to help you start, grow, expand, or recover.
Does your home need a makeover? If so, refresh with quality with LA Labor and Painting, LLC. They make your home sparkle and be the envy of the community. They are masters at interior and exterior painting, drywall. They clean decks. They landscape and remove items you wish were gone. The bottom line is, they refresh with quality, provide professional service, and follow all guidelines regarding COVID-19. Call today to make your home sparkle. You can reach LA Labor by calling 804-972-8014. Call today for the On the Mic with Mike discount. When you mention the program, you'll receive 20% off of the beautification of your most prized possession. Call LA Labor and Painting today at 804-972-8014.
Thank you, attorneys Justin Lauder and Chris Gatewood at Threshold Counsel PC for sponsoring this program. They offer startup, business, and intellectual property services for innovative and growing organizations. You can find them online at threshold.cc.
This is Candace Dion. Make sure you tune into Discussions with Dion every Monday at 2 p.m., where we talk inspiration, motivation, natural health, fitness, and life. You can find me at Dancing with Dion, D-I-O-N, dancingwithdion.com, and Candace Dion on Facebook and Instagram.
Talking about being your best, Discussions with Dion, Mondays on the Mic with Mike, here on WJFN 92.7 and 100.5 FM.
Let's chat biz excellence with hashtag Sarah Be The Coach. Airing every Tuesday at 2 p.m. on WJFN, 100.5, 92.7 FM, and 820 AM.
Don't miss hashtag Sarah Be The Coach, Tuesdays at 2 on the Mic with Mike, right here on WJFN 92.7, 100.5, and AM 820.
Know your worth, then add tax. Helping you run a successful business in 2021 and beyond.
Listen.
I enjoy listening to On the Mic with Mike every day at 1 p.m.
That's what I do!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on the Mic with Mike, the best business radio program around. Hey, if you'd like to be a part of the program or you just want to do some really great things out there, you can shoot us a text, give us a call, 804-778-8888. If you would like to be one of the advertiser sponsors, just hit me up, my hashtag MikeKingBiz or on the Mic with Mike. RVA is where you can find me. We do bring the best and brightest to you every day, 1 to 3 p.m., WJFN Radio, 100.5, 92.7, 820 a.m. It's the place where the game changers come to talk. Up next is a man who I've been seeing and dealing with and seeing making big splashes on social media. You are an interviewer extraordinaire. I'm just a guy who's having some fun here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Chris Jones to the program. Welcome to the program, sir.
Well, it's an honor to be here. You know, you say that I'm good on social media. You're also fantastic, and I'm just honored that you invited me to be on today's show.
He brought the radio. He brought the radio. What is it with me finding these guys with radio interviewing voices?
I have a great radio voice. I'm not a radio. I have a radio face too, right? That's what they say.
Not anymore, because you know what?
We're live.
We're live here. So let folks know who you are, what you do, and now we're going to talk about some of the strategies. Your thing I see is team building and getting great questions out of people that you interview.
Yeah. I primarily really focus on leadership development. So I help people to be better leaders, and even more specifically, technical leaders who are leading technical teams. But I have had some experience with interviewing, and I've got a podcast. I'm publishing episode 84, I think, this week. So I've been doing it for a couple of years now. I've been studying podcasts probably since 2008. It was when I very first listened to my very first podcast. And I feel like I've been studying it ever since.
2008?
On the cutting edge. That's when podcasts first started coming out. I've been hooked ever since, and it's been awesome.
I'm still going on to 2008. In 2008, I didn't know what a jump drive was. I had no clue what the www part. Back in those days, I used to work at AccuWeather, selling weather content. Oh. But so now you develop leadership teams. Because I'd worked at AccuWeather, they're real techies. Yeah. They're meteorologists. But it's funny when you would find a technical person who can sell or a techie who can talk. Mm-hmm. Give our listeners a little bit of an understanding when you develop leadership people in the tech world and how that's different than other leadership opportunities.
Yeah, boy, that is a fantastic question. And, technical teams, many of them like to just be left alone, right? Give me my job. I know exactly what to do. Many of them are true experts in what they do. And they want to just be in their silo, do what they need to do. But as we know in teams, you have to work together as a team. You're way better as a team than you are as an individual. And that's one of the things I want to really influence upon leaders is how do you get that entire team to work together? One of the things I talk about a lot is creating an entire team of high performers. And that's one of the obstacles I have, especially with technical leaders, is convincing them that they can have an entire team of high performers. Many of them kind of go to the old school where, you know what, you're always going to have low performers in your team. You're always going to have a few high performers, and then you're going to have a whole bunch kind of in the middle, kind of like a bell curve in high school, right? Or when you're going to school. And I want to convince technical leaders that you don't have to settle for that. You can have an entire team of high performers. I need to convince you about how to.
Okay, they're looking at you like, all right, Chris, where do we find? Oh, because you're telling me I can find a team of Larry Birds, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, and Michael Jordans when I'm used to a bunch of the 7, 8, and 9 guys, or the second string quarterback. Yeah. You're going to tell me now that you can help me develop or get those guys who are the stars to play for my team and to play at a higher level.
Well, let's be honest here. Let's talk about reality, because the reality is many times leaders, they are thrown into a team. They're now leading this team.
That's true.
They didn't hire these people, right? They've inherited this team, and the team does have maybe this bell curve, right? And now, well, it's not my fault that I have this team. It doesn't matter if it's your fault or not. You own it. As the leader, it's your responsibility. So it is your job to set everyone else on that team up for success. You got to find out how to do that. And it's not going to be the same for the whole team. You need to adjust your leadership style for each member of the team to help them to be successful in their own way.
See, it's funny like that because of parenting. I was an only kid for almost 14 years. I didn't realize that parents parent kids different. My wife is one of 8, and I just thought you parented kids. That's it, across the board, not realizing that kids are different. Like parenting is like leadership. You're dealing with each person a little bit differently than the next. How'd you get into whole leadership area of training and then going on specifically to technical services?
Yeah, well, most of my career, more than 25 years of my career, has been in Fortune 500 world headquarters, literally at the world headquarters, and it's always been in the IT area or the technical departments of those organizations. So it makes a lot of sense. But I will be honest, when I got out of corporate, and this was about 6 years ago, actually it was even longer ago because I did some contract work when I left in 2012. But when I started doing this on my own, I just wanted to be, the leadership guy, right? I call my business Authentic Leader, right? Because I just want to help anyone who is leading teams. But what I found is that almost all of my clients, more than 70%, have been in the technical field. They've all been leading technical teams. And what I found is, well, it only makes sense because I know that world. I know the language they speak. I know how technical teams operate, how they work. So that's who I can really help best. So I've actually, in the last year or so, really niched down into leading leaders of technical teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice you're listening to, Christopher Jones. He is our leadership expert here, dropping nuggets of knowledge on us. So in the world before last spring, you were talking to leaders, building camaraderie. We were all in this together, a little esprit de corps, and Corona hits.
I've heard about that.
Yeah. How do you train and deal with leaders now when the team is spread to and fro, here and there, and we don't interact because techie's a little bit different. Nerds became popular, and there's a place for them. There was a time that the jocks were popular. Yeah. Nerds became popular.
They did. They're ruling the world now, aren't they? Especially now.
You see some guys and you see their girlfriends and wives are going, whoa, paid off to be a nerd there. So how do you keep that going now when people aren't in an area together?
Yeah. Well, that is a huge challenge right now. I've had leaders say to me that, hey, I signed up for leading my team in our department face-to-face, and now we're leading remote teams. And Chris, I didn't sign up for this. Well, my response to that is, I don't care. I mean, you're the leader. It's time for you to step up. It doesn't matter if you signed up for it or not. It's time for you to step up, and you just need to own that. And it's been a big learning curve for everybody this year, right? We've been having to do things differently than we'd ever have. For a long time, I actually did my my coaching on Zoom, and many people are like, what?
Folks who are like you, and the whole FaceTime and Skype and everything else.
They were at the right place at the right time, quite honestly, and they had the functionality that was specifically needed at that time. Now, they definitely had massive growing pains. I mean, they grew by multiple hundreds of % within 1 month, right? And they had servers going down, and they had people who were breaking into through the security, and they had massive problems. But they've got most of those really fixed now, and they have come out now the other side. An established one, but they really had the functions and features to be able to do these multiple, conference video calls in a pretty stable environment.
So Zoom was out there to the technical folks before that thing called Corona hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been using it for years. As a matter of fact, I remember maybe 3 or 4 years ago, someone had suggested you should try out this thing called Zoom. I also didn't know what Zoom was. I'm like, well, I'll try it. And it's funny, almost 2 years ago, I changed all of my one-on-one face-to-face coaching to online coaching using Zoom. And it's been a game changer. I joke around that I knew a pandemic was coming, and that's why I did that about 2 years ago. But of course I didn't. But I tell you, I've got a whole studio literally in my office now. I got a big screen TV. I make sure that the camera is so that I'm looking you right in the eyes. I create as much as I can of a face-to-face environment as I can, even though we're actually virtual.
That's true. So, when I look at how you do things, I'm like, okay, game, got to step it up. Let's talk a little bit about your podcasting style, the look of how do you make everyone has a podcast out there. Everyone is trying to do their thing. How do you make it look good to the point where it looks professional and it's done? So talk about the steps that you've taken to make it look good. Like you said, you were doing this before a pandemic.
Yeah.
When everyone else shifted and said, what's that thing called again? Zoom. You were already an expert at it and understanding the value of being able to do it. Explain to our listeners what they need to do to have a professional environment.
Well, again, let's just be honest here. You have to be terrible at first. You have to be willing to be terrible at first and embrace that and know that you're going to learn with everyone that you do. My first interviews, they were horrible. They were absolutely horrible. Well, a better example I like to go to is I do a lot of videos. And I remember this was maybe about 5 years ago. I would do a video and I wanted to post it online, right, to be able to share some valuable content, whatever it is. And boy, those first videos I created were absolutely horrible. And I told myself, when I get better at this, I'm going to publish these. But I got to practice first. And then I thought, Chris, if you were coaching you, what would you say? You'd say you're never going to get better until you publish. And it's so true because now you see yourself differently. You just have to dive right in, go for it, be willing to make mistakes, know you're going to learn from it, get a little bit incrementally better every time. And over time, you come across as polished. Now, you call me polished. I would not describe me as polished. I feel like I have a long way to go, but I have come a long way.
I see you, there's another guy that's out there, Taylor Quinn, and the look of his podcasting videos, studio, it just makes you look like, okay, that looks professional. So you can add a value to it because, if the camera is falling down and it's blurry and it's all of those things, then a person may not perceive that they want to give you the value that you think that you're worth. Can you talk a little bit about responses, likes, comments, all those things, and how much they drive you to be viewed as successful?
Okay, you're going to be surprised at my answer. I don't look at them. I don't pay attention to them. I think it's a massive distraction, and I think for me personally, it's a demotivator. Especially in the beginning, I know that I'm not going to reach a large audience, and I accept that and know that I'm going to make a lot of mistakes in the beginning, knowing that no one's watching, so that when I come along and I do have a larger audience, that I'm going to be much more polished. People are going to say, oh, this Chris Jones seems like he came out of nowhere. Well, it's because I've actually been doing it for a very small audience for a very long time. But honestly, I don't pay attention to the metrics, and people can argue if that's a mistake or if that's a wise idea. But for me, I think it's a distractor rather than a motivator. I just want to reach people who need to be reached. And if I can reach you and I can help you in some way, I call that a home run.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Jones, we got to go away for a moment. We'll be back on the other side with more insight from Chris. And if you'd like to talk, give us a shout, 804-778-8888. Thanks now.
Hey guys, this is Robin with DB Arcade Commercial Video and Photography. If you need creative visual content for social media or traditional advertising, then we're the team you want working for you. We create custom ROI-driven videos and photography for your business, no matter what products or services you offer. We've worked with local newspapers, gyms, real estate agents, financial advisors, clothing companies, restaurants, and more. For more information, check us out on our website at db-arcade.com.
Hi, Chef Michelle here of Mama Michelle's Cafe, home of the Soul Rolls, located at 10811 Whole Street Road. Give us a call at 804-912-1644 or order online at mamachells.com. Ask about our off-site catering options as well as our online ordering through Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Follow us on all social media at Mama Michelle's Cafe. That's Mama Michelle's, Soul south of the James. Mention Mike on the mic and get a free dessert on us. Special rules apply.
Do you want a crystal clear picture of your finances? Dial 804-601-0532 and schedule your free financial review with Crystal Clear Financial Solutions. Find us online at crystalclearfinancialsolutions.com.
Thank you, attorneys Justin Lauder and Chris Gatewood at Threshold Counsel PC for sponsoring this program. They offer startup, business, and intellectual property services for innovative and growing organizations. You can find them online at threshold.cc.
Let's chat biz excellence with hashtag Sarah Be The Coach. Airing every Tuesday at 2 p.m. on WJFN, 100.5, 92.7 FM, and 8:20 a.m.
Don't miss hashtag Sarah Be The Coach, Tuesdays at 2 on The Mic with Mike, right here on WJFN 92.7, 100.5, and AM 820.
Know your worth, then add tax. Helping you run a successful business in 2021 and beyond.
Listen.
Mike King isn't a businessman. He's a businessman with his own talk show. On the Mic with Mike, the best business radio program in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on the Mic with Mike here with Chris Jones. Chris, how can people find you?
Yeah, LinkedIn is probably one of the best ways. I'm very active on LinkedIn.
You are very good. You mastered the whole LinkedIn thing.
Well, I'm working on it. I appreciate the feedback. I'm glad to know that it's resonating. But yeah, LinkedIn is the best place. I am Christopher R. Jones, by the way.
This is a million.
There are a million. I actually have a Chris Jones who lives down the street from me. I almost got expelled from high school for another Chris Jones. I have another friend in high school that married a different. I know so many Chris Joneses I could not even tell you. But I'm Christopher R. Jones, and I also have a website called ChristopherRJones.com. So there's an additional R right there that can be easily missed.
Christopher R. Jones, not to be confused with all the other Christopher Joneses who are out there. So let's give our listeners an idea of, they have an idea, they want to do it, but what's the thing that holds people back from making dreams come true? When you stepped out on that corporate America thing and you wanted to go out there, and you were out there, however you got there, you looked around and said, okay, what do I need to do? What's the thing that holds a lot of people back?
Well, I think a thing that held me back for a long time, I think it's mindset. I mean, you have to see yourself in the future that you're going to be able to create for yourself. And it took me a long time to actually come to that realization. When I ultimately left my more than 20 years of corporate America, what I said to myself, I literally said this out loud. I said, I don't want to look back 40 years from now and wish I would have done something 40 years ago. I better do it right now. I'm just not going to live with regret. And it was scary. It was jumping out of an airplane with no parachute and
you're going to build it on the way down.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it was terrifying, but again, I also imagine myself in the future looking back and gosh, Chris, why didn't you just do something 40 years ago? I just could not live with that.
Okay, so you jumped out. You're out there doing your thing. When did all of a sudden you look around and said, yo, you know what? This thing may work.
I'm waiting for that to happen.
Well, if you've been doing it, you at some point you had to look up and say, I might be able to make a go of this because a lot of people don't.
Well, when I really did come to that realization, I know when I was still in my corporate role, and for me, it felt like I was chained to my desk, right? That's when you have to be at work, you have to be here, you have to go to these meetings. I mean, everyone was telling me what you have to do, right? And I remember sitting there at my desk, imagining what would it be like if I was completely responsible for my day. and I get to decide what to do and when to do it, and I get to go out and about and meet great people like you and connect with people. And what would that be like? I even imagine specifically, what would my days look like? Mornings would be like this. Around lunchtime, I'd do this. In the afternoons, would be this. In the evenings, would be this. And it was probably about 3 or so years ago when I looked around and said, that I'm actually living that now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. So like, I don't know that I would describe that I have the financial success that I aspire to or the reach of the audience that I aspire to, but I am absolutely living each day as I envisioned I would when I was stuck in my corporate role.
I always ask people when they're here, what gives you hope? I'll ask you that, but I'm also going to ask you, because you help people with success, what does success look like? So first one, what gives you hope?
Well, what gives me hope is it's incremental progress. You know, the fact that I can have small progress every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year. If I'm looking back and if I can just make small incremental progress, I know that I'm being successful because I will go forward. If I'm staying level or if I'm going down, that's not success, right? You're not going to succeed if you're staying the same. You always have to just do just a little bit better than before. When I was in high school, I was in marching band.
So was I.
Were you? What'd you play?
The clarinet.
Oh,
and the saxophone.
Did you? My son played the saxophone.
I have no talent. My father wasted money on musical lessons for a piano and.
Well, I also have no talent. But that's why I played tuba, because you don't need to have that much talent.
You are a big guy, so I could see you playing a tuba.
Yeah, in high school I was in the best shape of my whole life because we did not play sousaphone. It was a concert tuba you had to carry out in front of you. So I was in fantastic shape when I was in high school. But my band director, what he said is that we would go to competitions, and he's like, all I'm asking for you is to be a little better than you were yesterday. We're not out there to beat the other bands. We're not out there to get the high score. I just want you as an individual to be better than yesterday. And I've lived by that really ever since then. And that's what I call success.
How was where'd you grow up at?
In Ohio. Near Dayton, Ohio, a community called Centerville, Ohio.
Was your band good?
My junior year, we went to Grand Nationals in Indianapolis, and we got 6th.
So we were good, too. I went to school in Pennsylvania. Penn was North Penn, the Marching Knights.
Oh.
We were good. We were good. So, all right, so awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, the wheels have fallen off.
We regress.
Exactly. But you should have seen us back in the day. We were ruling those marching bands. You know, not the studliest things going on, but
I didn't care. I was having fun.
I've had a blast out there. Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher R. Jones. You can be found where?
LinkedIn is great. Also, ChristopherRJones.com is also a place you can find me on all my other social medias from there.
Yeah, just Google him. That's how it is when you're balling out of control like that. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank him for coming on. Sarah B., the coach, is up next. She's going to be talking about how to maximize your business. And then at the bottom of the hour, we also have, who do we have then? See, we just bring the best and the brightest to you. We have Ryann Lofty. She is with the Capital Region Small Business Development Center. She's going to be talking about programs that they have to help your business. It's always great when she checks in. All right, we'll be back on the other side.
You're listening to WJFN Goochland, WJFN Chester.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The White House says pharmacies will start offering COVID-19 vaccinations next week. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
Americans will soon be able to get vaccinated at their local drugstore or supermarket pharmacy. White House COVID-19 response coordinator Jeff Zients says at first, supply will be limited.
In this first phase of the program, supply will be at only about 6,500 stores nationwide before expanding.
But he says up to 40,000 pharmacies eventually could offer the shots as vaccine manufacturers increase production. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Also at townhall.com, in remarks, Republican Senator John Cornyn of Texas says Senate Democrats want to ram President Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus aid package through with a budget reconciliation gimmick.
This is a process designed as a way to enact certain fiscal policies in a budget resolution, things like spending reductions, tax relief, or tax increases. Unlike the traditional legislative process, which is used for the majority of the bills that move through the Senate, there's no 60-vote threshold when you use budget reconciliation.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has announced that senators will vote today on the first step toward approving President Biden's recovery package. The procedural vote would launch a lengthy budget process to pass the package with the Democratic majority. That's if Republicans object. In Sunrise, Florida, 2 FBI agents killed, 3 wounded while serving a federal search warrant in a case involving violent crimes against children in South Florida. The suspect is also dead. The Senate confirming Pete Buttigieg as Transportation Secretary. Buttigieg, a former mayor of South Bend, Indiana. The vote was 86-13 in approval. More at townhall.com.
In 1901, a woman by the name of Annie Taylor climbed into a barrel so that she could ride that barrel over Niagara Falls, the first person to do so. The reason for her crazy endeavor? She was struggling to make ends meet, and she was hoping for fame and financial security. It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage, a faith and family mortgage team that tries to improve your financial outlook without having to ship you over a 170-foot waterfall. Our mortgage team happens to be an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions within its own walls. There's no middleman. This advantage often allows us to get you a better rate, which can save you monthly and lifelong money through a refinance, or help you with a cash-out refinance, cashing out some of your home's equity to use for life. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1335. RAC NMLS number 65233. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Foreign correspondent Alana Durkin-Richer reports a U.S. Army Special Forces veteran is trying to avoid extradition to Japan.
Michael Taylor and his son, Peter Taylor, are accused of working with another man to smuggle Carlos Ghosn out of Japan in a large box on a private jet in December 2019. They were arrested in May, and Michael and Peter Taylor have both been locked up in a Massachusetts jail since then while they've been fighting their extradition.
Captain Tom Moore, the World War II veteran who walked into the hearts of a nation in his quest to raise money for healthcare workers, has died after testing positive for COVID-19. He was 100. Captain Tom set out to raise £1,000 for Britain's National Health Service by walking 100 laps in his backyard, but his quest went viral, and he ended up raising some £33 million. That's $40 million. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers endure media day before getting down to the business of trying to win a Super Bowl. Correspondent Steve Carney has details in this report.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers began their week of preparations for Super Bowl 55 by sitting down for media day, held virtually this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. For defensive end Jason Pierre-Paul, it doesn't matter if the obligations this week are virtual or in person. The goal for him is the same.
The way it is now and the way it was back then, I don't even remember because it was so long ago. But I'm just here trying to win the game.
Head coach Bruce Arians says wide receiver Antonio Brown and safety Antoine Winfield Jr., who both missed the NFC Championship game in Green Bay, continue to progress toward possibly playing this week. The Bucs will be the first team to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium when they take on the Kansas City Chiefs at Raymond James Stadium Sunday evening. Steve Carney, Tampa.
More on these stories at townhall.com. I'm John Scott.
There's only one Godzilla of the truth, The John Frederick Show, lighting up the airwaves 6 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. The Oracle of the Deplorables wants you to hear all of his shows and great newsmaker interviews whenever you want. Catch his daily podcast on the new WJFN YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com. Put WJFN Radio in the search bar. WJFN Radio. All the shows are right there. YouTube's big tech censors shut the regular channel down, but Godzilla fights back. WJFN Radio on YouTube. Subscribe now.
Feel the hot new reels and cool cash at Rosie's Gaming Emporium. Are you ready for added excitement, more ways to win, and bigger payouts? Then stop into your favorite Rosie's and check out our all-new machines where jackpot pools start at $100,000. Don't miss the next level of jackpots, new ways to win, and big-time payouts. Only at Rosie's Gaming Emporium.
Stop by and win today or click rosiesgaming.com for more info. rosiesgaming.com.
Listen, could Robert change your life?
At the age of 55, I started putting on weight, and I got to the weight of about 210 pounds. Always hungry. The heavier I got, the less energy I had. And about 6 months ago, I started taking the Andro 400, and I started realizing I had more energy. I felt better, and my mind was clearer, and I started losing weight. I went from my max weight was 215, and now I'm down to 176. My waist size has dropped from a 38 to a 32, and I've lost these big love handles that I had on my side, and I just look a lot slimmer.
Since 2004, Andro 400 has helped men lose belly fat, gain energy, and to look and feel their best. Go to andro400.com for more true testimonials, before and after photos, and special discounts. Only available on andro400.com. andro400.com.
Hi, this is Andy with Junk Luggers. Have you ever wondered why you see the big green junk lugger trucks racing all over town hither and yon? It's because we've taken an eco-friendly approach to junk and furniture removal. Instead of dumping items in the landfill, we work with local area charities to donate, repurpose, and recycle the items, keep them out of the landfill, and give back to the local community to those in need. You can find out more about us at www.junkluggersofcentralva.com or give us a call at 804-299-3814.
Let's chat biz excellence with hashtag Sarah Be the Coach. Airing every Tuesday at 2 p.m. on WJFN, 100.5, 92.7 FM, and 820 a.m.
Don't miss hashtag Sarah Be the Coach, Tuesdays at 2 on the Mic with Mike, right here on WJFN 92.7, 100.5, and AM 820.
Know your worth, then add tax. Helping you run a successful business in 2021 and beyond.
Listen.
Are you ready? Hey, welcome to Biz Excellence with hashtag Sarah Be the Coach. We are back. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about, what are we talking?
Negotiations? Is that
yes,
what
negotiations. So I'm going to put Coach's business out here on Front Street.
I didn't say anything was wrong with it.
No, there's nothing. Okay, so we are going to give honor to your shirt. That is so folks who are watching on Facebook, your shirt is?
Know your worth and add tax.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Find value in yourself.
And so finding value in myself. So when Saraellen and I struck a deal, she wanted to know, was there wiggle room in the price?
Is there some wiggle room? Is there a negotiation?
And what did I say?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you think?
Hey, if you don't ask, you don't know. So you got to ask.
Okay. So here, Mike King got the short-ended stick with that one. So now Saraellen is a radio host, and she's talking, and she says to me and Al Green and 30,000
so you didn't
of our
hire
other...
me as your coach before the show.
I should have. Right. So when the conversation came up, you said here on that microphone and said...
Your price is your price.
Set in stone.
Set in stone.
And I immediately thought back to...
You're supposed to forget about all that.
Yeah, forget that. Forget that negotiation. I should have had her when I was dealing with her.
So let me tell you another hot tip that I tell my husband, who I told you owns construction. It's always a nice idea as well to have your pricing written out somewhere. So that if you're not good with the conversation of, well, I can, you feel bad, and that sort of thing, hey, take a look at my website. Here's the options that you have. Let me know which one works for you.
So there's no questioning.
No. And you don't even have to put on that face of, how do I say no, or what do I say? Because you've already set your business up with the structure that here's what it is.
So I'm not the sharpest one out there, but it dawned on me when you left. I'm like, hey, Al. I think I just got hoodwinked, snookered, bamboozled because I distinctly remember her asking for a price.
Let me not toot my own horn. Let me tell you a good time.
I'm tooting your horn, yes.
Let me tell you a good time to negotiate. When you also have something to bring to the table. Boom.
Okay, Al, here's she. So you're saying I got something out of this? Okay, well, yeah, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Saraellen is here with us, and that was the almost feel-good moment of the day. Almost. It wasn't, but that was called leaving money on the table. And I should have hired her before I said, hey, do you want to come on the radio?
See, you got me for free, so that was...
I had you come in because I heard about you from the Gilberts.
Yeah.
You were good, and I'm like, she would be good.
Now, have you got some good info that you can apply to your business when I'm gone?
I'm going to Al Green is your biggest cheerleader. Yeah. We got to be talking about you being gone.
Oh,
I'll
be back.
No, see, because it's like the barber. You don't go to the barber shop. The barber shop is like when you lose your seat.
Is that what happened?
Yes, because you made the time so pop. Can we get on to what you were here to talk about business stuff and
Well, I was going to talk about why we need a coach. Why do people need coaches?
I always tell people, and this is scientific.
Yeah.
I tell them, coaches travel with teams. Cheerleaders don't.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need the cheerleaders.
That's very true. I like that.
We need the coach. Now, if all of a sudden we were taking the cheerleaders with us and leaving the coaches at home, I don't know what would be happening.
There's a big difference.
So you are here as a coach and not the cheerleader.
I am not your cheerleader. I will cheer you on, but I will also let you know when there's some opportunity.
Because you come with the tough love.
Yeah.
What is it with these women with the tough love? Shout out to Bernice. She's another one with the... These women are,
tough love is what gets you moving. You can't be all tough and you can't be all loving. So you got to put a little bit together so that you can help people feel good about what they're doing, but also when they fall off the rocker, you got to be able to help them get back on.
How did you come with the know your worth and add tax? Where did that come from?
You know what? I saw this when I was shopping and I was like, I got to get that shirt. I've got to get that shirt.
And it became part of your mantra.
Yeah, I wear it all the time. Got photos done with this shirt,
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah. That's what sold me. Yeah,
and because it's one of the things that I talk to people about probably the most is value and finding value in what they do and what they offer and helping them figure out what their value is.
Okay.
Yep.
Times 214, Saraellen Bagby is here, and she is taught. What are we talking today?
So we're talking about reasons that you need a coach, and you brought up a good point. You want a coach or do you want a cheerleader? There's a lot of people that want yes men. And they like hearing what they do well, but they're not so good about hearing about where they have opportunity. And then a lot of people are also not really great about hearing what they need to do well. So when you think of somebody who runs a business, and if you've worked in like a big environment, you hear people say, well, I can't get them to show up on time. It becomes a them. And as a coach, like my role is to stop and say, how are you addressing it? What can you do to help them get there? It's not always all them. A lot of times it's you. But a lot of people shy away from that. And that's why a lot of people don't want to coach, because they feel like the coach is telling them what they're doing wrong. And that's not necessarily the truth. The coach is telling you what you can do better to improve your situation. And I like to think about it like puzzles. Anybody can own or have a puzzle, but if you don't know how to put all the pieces together, how much value is that to you? Yeah. And sometimes to start the puzzle, you might need support of somebody to say, well, let's put these pieces here first, and then we can get to the rest. So it's kind of the same thing.
So what does a coaching session or engagement look like with you? So all of a sudden, I realize that my house, it may not be on fire, but it's simmering and there's smoke around.
And sometimes it's not even simmering. It's just that, you know what, I've been doing the same thing over and over and over, and I'd like to see an increase. So it's not that it's bad. It might be doing great, but I'd like to find a different avenue or a different route. Then what I do is I ask the person, I kind of send them a pre-questionnaire of like, what are you currently doing? What works? What do you want to see different? Like, what is it that they're trying to achieve? And then I'll take a look at that before I even sit down with them so that I can say, okay, what's going on? I even sometimes will look up their social media to see what type of activity is on there. What could they be doing different? Is it somebody that, like, do I see their stuff? And if I have to look for your stuff, that tells me the client has to look for your stuff. And there's already opportunity right there.
Increase your exposure and your footprint.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so now this is the part of the program I'm going to ask because I got you here now. Otherwise, it might cost me.
Take advantage. Hey,
that
I mean, we negotiated, so this is the part you get out of
this. Is right. So this is the part. This was the money that was left on the table that you got away with.
Yeah.
So how do I put a value on or explain to people the value of when you are in the Mike King world, the number of people who circle through who could bring value to what you do? It's not a direct, you're here, you're able to sell this or that. But the opportunity to be in my world causes people to be around you who bring value to what you do.
Exposure. Okay. So let me ask you about how many listeners do you have?
About 30,000.
30,000. So you just ask somebody a simple question. How many viewers do you have? How many people are following you right now? They may look at their Facebook and go, oh, I have about 5,000. Well, by being on the Mike King show, you're going to have 30 to 35,000.
But how about if that's not the important part? How about
then
just
you ask them what the important, what are they looking for?
How about if I'm thinking, hey, I'm pretty cool. I know some really cool people who can help you do what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And just by bringing them to your world, there's a value in that. How do
you relay that?
Yes.
By showing a lot of times the connections you've already made.
Okay.
Yeah. And what were the results from those connections? Because a lot of people need to see it for themselves. So you telling them doesn't get it. But if you say, hey, you know what? I talked to Jody, and Jody had just been starting out her business, but I connected Jody. And I'll give you an example. You connected me to Adam. Okay, so if I go and I do the public speaking with Adam and do a business, basically it's a business seminar, and we'll have 6 business owners, and I book 3 clients. That's 3 clients I didn't have before. So not only did I have a radio show, but now because of Mike, I've made extra connections, and now I'm actually increasing my business and my revenue because of the connections that were made from you.
So what you're saying is, so for a person who has a business that has tangible items, you're able to do that. If you have an intangible, you have to show the results of what the relationship brought to bear.
Yes. So like, for example, when I was a salon leader, before I was ever a district leader, there were at least 3 stylists that worked for me as stylists that eventually became salon leaders and leveled out of my salon. So that was kind of my leveraging when it came time for me to move on to a district leader.
See what my success has been.
Yes. So I'm excellent at training, and here are some of the people that I've trained, and here's where they are now. So if somebody is coming to you and those are some of the goals that they have, is how do I get to the next level? Like, who are you going to introduce me to that's going to do that? You have an arsenal of examples that you can use, and those are your examples that you would use when you're having that conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Saraellen Bagby, how can people find you?
They can find me on Facebook at Excellence with an X, Coaching and Business Planning, and they can also find me in the same Excellence with an X, Coaching and Business Planning on Instagram.
And how about that J Bella thing?
J Bella RVA on Facebook, love my photography world, and my clients. Thank you guys. And J Bella _photography RVA on Instagram.
We got to talk about some of those pictures.
Yeah, well, I do a wide variety of photos.
Yes, you do. The one that okay, really quickly now, I'm not stealing your Biz Excellence.
Oh, we can go either direction.
Okay, so people wanted to have a really big wedding, and they were excited.
Yes.
And I see that you had a wedding for
2.
2.
Yes.
you can't get smaller than a wedding for two. You need two people for it to happen.
Yeah.
But then when I see the pictures,
Yeah.
stunning.
Absolutely stunning. Congratulations to the Dents that got married this past weekend. Yes, so they originally had a large, lavish wedding planned, and COVID got in the way. And Talania Carter, who is an amazing planner and also is a travel expert, so if you ever need travel, talk to Talania, was setting it up. So she was actually the one that was conversating back and forth with me about the wedding. And she was like, okay, so we're going to do it small. And then at one point she was like, I'm not sure if we're going to do it at all.
So when they were
And I was
talking
like,
small, what were they talking at small?
they didn't have a number at first at small. They were going to take it off the table, period. And just do something later and all of that. And I remember telling Talani, I was like, no, they should do it now. Because I had just done a wedding that went from an 8-hour wedding to like a 3 or 4 hour wedding. And I was like, if you look at these pictures, you cannot tell the difference.
Because you said to me,
yeah,
the pictures are not about
the guests. No, when I shoot, I am focused on the couple. And there will be people that they may send me notes like these people are important to us, and I'll capture those people. But ultimately, like what I put on my Facebook and my Instagram feed, it's the couple. That's who I'm highlighting. That's who I'm focusing on is the couple. So if you're focused on the union and what the marriage means to you, it's okay to go get eloped. It's okay to have, and I love the fact that they used a planner because that's part of what made it beautiful. Like she contacted the venue, which Adelon Acres was stunning in itself. All of those things make my job easier. So you just going off and getting married in the backwoods might not be as beautiful as finding a venue that has it was Brighton area. They had these beautiful bridal suite that she got ready in. There were so many places and choices. I was there for 2 hours and her wedding looked no different than somebody with an 8-hour wedding, other than we didn't have all the extra people, but it also made for an easier day. There was no stress. I can tell you when I got married 5 years ago, we had 160 people. I didn't eat. Like we did not eat dinner because we were so people were, hey, congratulations, loved it. But we didn't get to eat. Like everything was what's next? Oh, we got to do the bouquet. It was a lot.
It's scripted.
Yes.
Seems
this
like a lot of
couple
work.
really, truly enjoyed their wedding. I even have a video of, I'm not sure if the young lady was with them or if she was with the planner, but in the parking lot before they left, she was like, hold on, I want to sing to you guys. And it was beautiful. It was just the two of them and everybody to help make the day right. And she sung to them in the parking lot.
Wow. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at that. The time's 2:24. We got to go away for a moment. We'll be back.
Hi, this is Andy with Junk Luggers. Have you ever wondered why you see the big green junk lugger trucks racing all over town hither and yon? It's because we've taken an eco-friendly approach to junk and furniture removal. Instead of dumping items in the landfill, we work with local area charities to donate, repurpose, and recycle the items, keep them out of the landfill, and give back to the local community to those in need. You can find out more about us at www.junkluggersofcentralva.com or give us a call at 804-299-3814.
Having a good name is more valuable than possessions. With a positive reputation, you not only obtain good credit, but the trust of lenders. At Build Credit LLC, we help you gain access to wealth, knowledge, and personal power. Have you made mistakes with your credit? Not sure where to begin? Tired of credit companies taking your money and getting no results? You need a home, car, credit cards, or even trade lines to start a business? No worries. We've got solutions for all your questions. Build Credit LLC is here to help you begin, repair, and build your credit to get the lifestyle you deserve. Our 100% money-back guarantee, we are committed to your success. Contact us today at 804-715-2395 or buildcredittrust@gmail.com for a free consultation. Mention promo code BCT2021 to claim 20% off your services.
Offer valid in the Commonwealth of Virginia and restrictions apply. 20% off of your services applies towards your enrollment fee.
Hanley Watches is the the must-have, stylish, comfortable, and versatile timepiece for the person who values quality. Handley offers sophisticated, modern designs that inspires confidence and generates conversation. Contact us today for the On the Mic with Mike promo. Handley Watches is the official timepiece of Mike King Biz and On the Mic with Mike. Connect with us at HandleyWatches.com today.
HANDLEY, HandleyWatches.com.
Let's chat biz excellence with hashtag Sarah Be The Coach. Airing every Tuesday at 2 p.m. on WJFN, 100.5, 92.7 FM, and 820 AM.
Don't miss hashtag Sarah Be The Coach, Tuesdays at 2 on The Mic with Mike, right here on WJFN 92.7, 100.5, and AM 820.
Know your worth, then add tax. Helping you run a successful business in 2021 and beyond.
Listen.
I enjoy listening to On the Mic with Mike every day at 1 p.m.
That's what I do!
Alrighty, we are with Biz Excellence with hashtag Sarah Be The Coach, and we are talking about adding value.
Adding value.
Yep.
So when you think that you're adding value, you need to add some more, is what you're saying.
Well, yes, know what your value is and then ask tax, but also knowing what your value is. So as a coach, I add value to what somebody is already doing. So if I can't make you more money or I can't help you increase your income, then I'm not adding value. So my purpose is to get you to the next level so that you can make more money or take yourself to the next level. So that's the value in doing what I do.
Because you stick to your guns.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're saying, you don't do Jay Bella things during coaching.
No,
you keep
they're
those separate.
two separate things, yeah. And I do that too because not only do I value my time, but I value my clients' time. So if they're paying me for, what's up to an hour session, I want to make sure that whatever is happening in that session is beneficial to them. So yeah, because that time it's for them and it's about them. So.
And how long for you, the typical engagement is how long?
I'm going to say it's up to an hour, but I have definitely been able to pre-read what somebody has told me and already start side noting like 3 or 4 things. By the time I start asking them questions to get them to that place, I've had conversations in 30 minutes where they were like, whoa, and that's enough.
Yeah, you did something to Al Green.
Yeah, I don't even know if that conversation was 30 minutes. But again, it was kind of the same thing. I don't know how much Al wants me to share, but Al sent me one topic that was about value and how to find the value in what he does. But even in looking at what he had written me, one of the things that I pinned out was how does he protect his value, if Al remembers that part. Okay, where's our what do we have? So even if we bring in all this revenue here, what if one person decides, you know what, I feel like somebody sabotaged me or somebody slandered my name and they sue you? Do you have the protections in there for that? So even though he didn't come to me for that conversation,
that's something that you knew that was important,
that we needed to talk about. Like I couldn't let him get off the phone without saying, have you even considered this part yet? Like, what do you have in the makings to protect once you move all of this? But in that conversation as well, we were able to establish that there was a huge opportunity to make a lot more money by moving him to what his value really and truly is, based on his years of experience, based on his talent, based on his connections alone, and how many people he could actually get out there too. So based on that, we moved some services that I'm going to say it was about a 700 jump in that one service. So imagine him getting 5-10 new clients on that.
So when we look at things as an individual,
yeah,
you're able to pull things out of us because of Shirley not knowing what those things are, and that's what you do.
Yeah. And a lot of times you just haven't thought in that direction.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Saraellen Bagby is here. How can people find you?
They can find me at Excellence Excellence with an X, Coaching and Business Planning on Facebook, and also Excellence Coaching and Business on Instagram.
All righty. Time's 2:31 on the mic with Mike. We have Ryann. She's going to come back. We're going to get to her in just a moment. We're going to take a quick break. Saraellen is going to hang with us for a little bit. You know, her time is valuable. So she's going to talk to us when we talk to Ryann and just have a great conversation. And then we'll be back. Thanks.
Yay.
Welcome to Miss Gurley's, conveniently located at 4809 Parker Street in the heart of Fulton. We take food back to the basics, just like our grandmother, Gurley Frances Crump, used to do it, the way we've always done it. So grab your family, grab your friends, and come taste a little bit of home. Open for business 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
Are you tired of dating online? Bloom Matchmaking offers a safe and effective alternative. Every match is vetted and background checked. Bloom Matchmaking offers a personalized experience just for you. Check us out at bloommatchmaking.com or give us a call at 804-205-5063. Let Bloom take the stress out of dating. Mention On the Mic with Mike and receive 20% off. That number again is 804-205-5063. Bloom Matchmaking, where love grows.
Having a good name is more valuable than possessions. With a positive reputation, you not only obtain good credit, but the trust of lenders. At Build Credit LLC, we help you gain access to wealth, knowledge, and personal power. Have you made mistakes with your credit? Not sure where to begin? Tired of credit companies taking your money and getting no results? You need a home, car, credit cards, or even trade lines to start a business? No worries. We've got solutions for all your questions. Build Credit LLC is here to help you begin, repair, and build your credit to get the lifestyle you deserve. Our 100% money-back guarantee, we are committed to your success. Contact us today at 804-715-2395 or buildcredittrust@gmail.com for a free consultation. Mention promo code BCT2021 to claim 20% off your services.
Offer valid in the Commonwealth of Virginia and restrictions apply. 20% off of your services applies towards your enrollment fee.
Hi, this is Sylvia Farbstein, and I am on the air with Mike King. He is widening the lens of humanity, and I'm so happy to be a part of his journey.
On the Mic with Mike, the best business radio program in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike, the best business radio program around. I'm your host, Mike King. We're here daily with you from 1 to 3, WJFN Radio, 100.5, 92.7, 820 AM. It's the place where the game changers come to talk. Up next, we have Ryann. Is it Lofty?
It is. You got it right.
There you go. Okay, winner. Okay, so you are with the Capital Region Small Business Development Center. Besides me, you got the, you get a 2-for-1 today. Saraellen Bagby is our business coach. She is one of the hosts here, and she's going to hang around with us, and we're going to talk to you.
Hey, Ryann.
Great. Hi.
All righty, so tell our listeners what you do, and then I know the cool things that you do, and we'll dive into some of those.
Okay, sure. So I have just been brought on to run our local SBDC in what we're calling the Capital Region. So we service Goochland, Powhatan, Chesterfield, Henrico, New Kent, Hanover, City of Richmond, City of Ashland. So that's our territory. SBDC stands for Small Business Development Center, and we really are here to be a resource for our entrepreneurs and our small business community, even our aspiring entrepreneurs. And we offer free counseling services, so basically one-on-one sessions where you can get business advice, have questions answered, And we also offer educational opportunities for our small business community. We have just relaunched our program at the end of November. So we ourselves are a startup, but we are moving fast and servicing a lot of small businesses so far. So it has been awesome. We have been out of the gate pretty quickly.
So Ryan, congratulations on that, surviving and coming out the gate quickly. Now, other areas, so the individual ones, like I know Richmond has an SBDC. Is that correct?
Well, so we are the Richmond SBDC. So there was one that was actually called, I think, the Richmond Region SBDC. It was housed out of the Greater Richmond Chamber, and in 2018, they decided that program was, I guess, not as relevant to the region anymore. We have a really strong entrepreneurial ecosystem here, and
That's
so
for sure.
they let that program go. And then when COVID came and clearly had such a huge impact on our small business community, our local economic development authority partners and a lot of our other small business ecosystem basically looked around and said, hey, now is really the time where the SBDC would be so helpful to our community. So they all rallied together to bring it back. So it is not necessarily a continuation of the Richmond SBDC. It is a new launch, but we're here and doing, offering the same services to the community as the former iteration of the SBDC did.
So if there's one thing, a person comes to you and say, all right, Ryan, what's the hottest, the best thing that you guys have going on right now? What's the one thing that you guys hang your hat on?
Ooh, that's such a good question. Well, I think that the thing that we can be the most helpful to businesses right now is, how to continue to deal with COVID because it's not yet gone. And I think, this situation has been it's been drawn out so much longer than a lot of business owners were planning. Because, of course, how do you plan for something like this? And so we are really helping a lot of business owners reach their prospective customers differently. We're helping them with, budgeting for even greater resilience. We're helping them try to get creative about raising capital to keep their business operations going. We're helping them with how to best communicate with their employees to retain employees through these tough times. So we're really focusing on business resiliency at this point. And, I'd say a large number of our clients need that. But we also are seeing a ton of startups, too. There are a lot of people that are using this economic reset as an opportunity to start the business of their dreams. And so we are also partnering with businesses in order to help them get off the ground, just like we're getting off the ground in our startup phase. So it's been a little bit of both, but I'd say both are equally exciting and both are equally needed right now based on where our business community is.
Ryan, what would you say that the newer businesses that are just launching during COVID could use the most support at?
Oh, definitely access to capital. But of course, that at any time for a startup, that is challenging, but especially right now, which is why, as I said, we're helping people get creative about how to do it, because I think, we do have a lot of people that, I say walk through the door, but of course we're virtual. So, they log on to our Zoom meeting. And, I think there's some misinformation out there about how to access capital as a startup. I think there are a lot of business owners that are under the impression that they can qualify for a grant and that's how they're going to get their startup capital. And that's very rarely true. And so anyway, so we do have to do some education on that front with a lot of our aspiring entrepreneurs. But I think, once we are able to do the education and give them the lay of the land of like how it works, I think they're really relieved that we're there to be a brainstorming partner with them as well to try to figure out the creative ways to get this going.
Absolutely.
So I'd say that's definitely what most of our startups need. They've got an awesome idea. They just don't know how to fund it yet.
When you look out there, when people come to you, what are some of the areas of entrepreneurship that are shocking to you, that you're finding like really innovative? Are there certain things that they're like, wow, that's pretty cool?
Let's see. I am always so interested in people's businesses where they're just taking a really different look at how something can be done. And I'm trying to think of good examples. Of course, we've got really, we have to be really careful about telling stories about our clients because we've got a very strict confidentiality.
Oh, it's no question. I understand.
That we are under. Let's see. I mean, I think sometimes, like, the creativity that people are using to reach customers and cut through, the fact that we're all being marketed to all the time, where people are coming up with really creative marketing opportunities, even going kind of super old school. Like, we have a client that decided they got really, really targeted with their profile of their target market, and then they were sending handwritten notes to prospective customers with and it was time consuming for them, but the way it played out was they actually cut straight through the noise of most of the marketing, and their prospective customers felt a direct connection with them. So of course they were going to pick up the phone and follow up on that reach out. So it is interesting. I think, in this time of us being so digital, people going not digital and finding a creative way to do that is actually working really well for them.
That is true. That's important because you have, like you said, that's going super old school.
That works, though.
That works because you will remember the one who didn't come. It's like back in the day when we got an email, we were like excited.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Who doesn't love
expecting
opening
that
a personalized note?
Yeah.
That is true. So where are you guys based out of?
Yes, so we are all virtual. So once we go back to the office, we are housed out of the Virginia Community Capital office. So they are up on Parham and Broad, basically, a little bit north of Broad, off of Parham. And Virginia Community Capital, I should give them a huge shout out because they are our host. So they were a huge part of bringing the SBDC back to our region. And they have been wonderful in providing us with the infrastructure and, so much of what we needed to get started.
A lot of times people hear Virginia Community Capital and don't know exactly what they do. And so for you to give a shout out to them that, I'm sure it's much appreciated because, they play a big part and people are kind of like, I'm not sure. Any of the other customer, people that you want to give a shout out to out there?
Oh, well, so yes, so our local economic development agencies from the localities that I mentioned earlier in our service area, they have all been very, very supportive. They've been wonderful. We have also received funding from Go Virginia Region 4 and from Atlantic Union Bank. So huge shout outs to them as well for helping us get up off the ground.
Alrighty, and you're as you said, you're new to the organization. You came from Frontier, didn't you?
I did, yes, the Frontier Project.
I think that's where I recognize your name from. Because
maybe, yeah. So, go ahead.
It's been a while, and I remember a while back wanting to talk to you guys because I thought what they were doing was interesting. I delved back into some craziness there.
Well, Frontier is wonderful. They're still going strong. After 12 years of owning and running the company, it was just time for me to move on to my next challenge, and I'm super happy landing at BCC and running the SBDC, and they are still going strong, doing the Frontier world, so it all worked out for the best.
What programs do you have that target the opportunities for women that are out there?
Yeah, so right now our programming through the SBDC is very inclusive of everyone.
Okay.
But that said, we know of a lot of the programs that are for women-owned and minority-owned businesses. So, for instance, there are some access to capital opportunities for minority-owned and women-owned businesses. There are some different types of government certifications for minority-owned and women-owned businesses. And so for the right business owner in the right industry, trying to target the right a specific client or customer, we will definitely help them navigate some of those things to help them get a leg up in as they're going out to market.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ryann. She is from the Small Business Development Center of the Capital Region. It's impressive with the number of areas and locations that you guys are covering because that offers a lot of help to people who are out there trying to make a go of it.
Yeah.
And we have to take a break. Can you hold for a moment?
Of course.
All right. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back in just a little bit. Thanks now.
Hey, Bernice.
Hey, Nat.
What's new?
Hopefully everything.
Sounds like you want to take two.
Sounds about right.
Are you looking to reset, recharge, and relaunch your life?
Maybe things didn't go exactly as planned.
Tune in every Monday at 2:30 p.m.
For our take on your Take Two.
Make it better the second time around. Take Two with Bernice and Nat on the Mic with Mike, Mondays at 2:30, right here on WJFN.
Hey guys, this is Robin with DB Arcade Commercial Video and Photography. If you need creative visual content for social media or traditional advertising, then we're the team you want working for you. We create custom ROI-driven videos and photography for your business, no matter what products or services you offer. We've worked with local newspapers, gyms, real estate agents, financial advisors, clothing companies, restaurants, and more. For more information, check us out on our website at db-arcade.com.
Welcome to Miss Girlie's, conveniently located at 4809 Parker Street in the heart of Fulton. We take food back to the basics, just like our grandmother, Girlie Frances Crump, used to do it, the way we've always done it. So grab your family, grab your friends, and come taste a little bit of home. Open for business 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
Yes, this is Don Treese Brown with Brown Baylor, proud sponsors of the Swagger Series. Please feel free to follow us on our social media channels, The Brown Baylor. You can also visit us on our website, brownbaylor.com, and you can follow us on our most recent project, Hidden in Plain Sight, SITE.org.
Brown Baylor, Hidden in Plain Sight, sponsors of the On the Mic with Mike Swagger music series. Hear brand new stars every Friday at 2 p.m. only on the Mic with Mike and WJFN, 92.7 and 100.5 FM.
Some business show in RVA, on the mic with Mike in RVA.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. On the Mic with Mike. The time is 2:48. Program is On the Mic with Mike. We're here daily with you from 1 to 3 p.m. WJFN Radio 100.5, 92.7, 820 AM. It's a place where the game changers come to talk. We're talking to Ryann right now. She is with the Capital Region Small Business Development Center. Welcome back, ma'am. Sorry for the delay.
Of course. Happy to be here.
Alrighty, so people show up to your door. They need the help. You had said access to capital.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they think that a grant will help, and that may be, the thing that may do it. What are some of the other areas of problems that you guys help with? Is it, I see, like business development planning, doing all those things? What are some of the other challenges that people showing up have?
Yes, great question. And we have really seen everything in our short time that we've been open. Yes, we do help people think through their business plan. And really, I think sometimes people look at that as kind of a bummer thing to have to work on. But honestly, the way I look at it is it helps people force some decision-making and some rigor behind their strategic priorities of their business. And so it is never too early or too late to have a business plan for your business. Really, to me, it pulls together what you're trying to be in the world, what you're trying to offer to your customers, who your customers really are, and then how that all culminates into the financial health of your business. And so we do try to help people true back to that so that they can get a really clear view, a clear, high-level overview of their business. And we find that a lot of people, once they sort of slow down a little bit and start committing some things to paper and start making some decisions about who they want to reach and how they want to reach them and how they're going to fund their business development, operations, et cetera, it all starts coming together and runs a lot more smoothly than trying to make decisions about your business and, without that high level strategic context. So we do help people with business planning. We help people, we've had some clients that are in the midst of a business acquisition and they are trying to figure out, how to navigate the due diligence process or how to look at the financial statements to start to formulate a valuation or how to, put together the right legal documents. And of course, we are general business experts. We're general business operators. We are not CPAs or attorneys or anything like that, but we've got a very strong network of advisors that we can pull in for conversations or refer out to when it's time. But we'll be sure that our business owners that we've been working with are very well prepared for those conversations so they can be efficient. They can feel like they know, that they understand the advice that they're given, even when it's really technical. And also, it'll ultimately cost them less money if they have to pay for that advice because they're going in there really organized and, really on top of it. And then, we've had some people that are just there. They have realized that their traditional business development approaches aren't working anymore, and they've got to figure out Facebook promotions. And we can literally sit there with them and help walk them through how to do it, so that we are teaching, and then they've got a skill they're walking away from the SBDC with that they can apply to their business. So it's been really the full range of, almost every business scenario you can imagine. We have been working with business owners on.
I can imagine. So how can people find you to take advantage of your services?
Yes. Okay. So our website it's a lot of letters, so get ready. It's Capital Region VA SBDC.com. We are also very, very active on Instagram. So all of the things that we're promoting, all of our workshops, all of the various, different government programs and things that are going on, we are pushing out through our Instagram. So that is also Capital Region VA SBDC on Instagram. You can find us on LinkedIn and on Facebook as well. I don't know what those handles are off the top of my head, but you can just Google them and find us there. And then if you are a small business owner or an aspiring entrepreneur and you are interested in talking to one of our business experts, just go to our website. It's capitalregionvasbdc.com. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a little button that says Get Started. Click on that button. It'll ask you to put some information into our registration system, and then we will follow up with you to find the time to chat about what's on your mind on your business.
I think one of the things that you said was really important was you help people slow the process down, because sometimes people get excited to start the business, and then when things are not going great, they get excited trying to save it.
Right.
And sometimes the ability to slow it down helps them.
Yes, and I think too, businesses, I think most people have this perception that a business is going to grow in a straight line. And really, if your business is growing, you're going to reach different levels of, it's almost like stair steps, right? There's going to be times where you put the right infrastructure in place and then it hums along for a little bit, and then you reach a point where that doesn't work for you anymore. You've got to put another layer of infrastructure in place, or you've got to rethink something, or the market's changed and you've just got to go about what you're doing a little bit differently. And then you make that change and then it hums along for a little bit, So we really see businesses at all of those kind of stair step inflection points. And to your point, we're going to help them take a step back, slow down a little bit, assess where their business is, assess where the business wants to go, and figure out what piece of infrastructure they need to put in place at that point in order to reach that next stair step. So it is. It's like it's a really nice, almost like a wellness checkup at your doctor. From time to time, come visit your local SBDC, talk with a business expert, and just check in about how your business is doing, because there's always things that you can be tweaking, or things that you can get ahead of sometimes before they break, and you've got to actually and you've got more of a crisis on your hands.
That is true. So one of the great things about this program, and we talked to a lot of people, you talked to a ton of people. What's the mood out in the streets among business owners who talk to you? And I know people are coming with new business. It's eternal optimism, but you're seeing people all across the spectrum. What's the mood and the talk of the streets from what you hear?
Yeah, I truly think there's a lot of optimism. I think the vaccine is helping people feel a lot better about the fact that there really is a light at the end of the tunnel. We don't know exactly when it's going to be here, but I think people are sort of starting to feel a little bit of relief that they're going to be able to make it through, which is great. Now, there's still, it's still really hard right now, so I don't want to minimize what a lot of our business owners are going through in our community, but I do think there's that hope that's kind of coming back, which is really nice. So now it's like planning for that amount of time, between where we are in the tunnel and getting out of it, as we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, versus is this going to be an ongoing, enduring thing that's just going to be really, really hard forever? So I think it's helping bring a little bit more positivity and a little bit more hope into our conversations. And of course, different industries, different sectors have been hit completely differently by this. So, retail and restaurants, they are, until we can actually feel very safe leaving our homes, that's going to be hard for them. And a lot of other businesses have been able to institute different, different approaches and, pivot in order to keep their business healthy until it goes back to normal. But I do think the sort of collective feeling is a little bit of a sigh of relief that, we've got an administration that's trying to combat COVID from getting any worse, and that we actually might be climbing out of, the bottom of the well here and moving a little bit more back toward normal business operation.
That's great. So Ryann Lopchi is here with us. We'd like to thank you for coming on the program. You're part of the family now, so if you have anything that you want to help get the word out, we're always here. Give us a shout, but let people know how they can find you one last time.
Sure, of course. Our website is capitalregionvasbdc.com. And if you want to find us on social, look for us on Instagram, Capital Region VA SBDC.
All right, I'd like to thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Take care now.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, they're a great resource. Make sure you go follow them. They'll be able to help you out there. The time's 2:58 on the Mic with Mike. Tomorrow, SBA Wednesday, we're also going to have a friend of the program, Damon Reynolds. We're going to talk to him about, so he's going to come in with his, his idea. We're going to talk about whether life is going back to what it was before and expectations of how that's going to be. So we're going to talk SBA tomorrow, and then we're going to talk to Damon Reynolds, who is a friend of the program. He is a divinity student, a graduate of Penn State, home of the Nittany Lions. And then after that, we're going to have Nicole Reed with The Real Playbook. On the Mic with Mike, the best business radio program around. We'd like to thank our guest today. It was an outstanding program. I'd like to thank Ryann. Also like to thank Chris Jones came in and talked to us. Chris Jones was here. And Blair from the Hampton Roads Black Chamber of Commerce. We're going to do some more work with her and that group there because the concept of connecting the 757 and the 804 and using the platform that we have here. But we'd like to thank everyone for listening. It's my pleasure, my honor to talk to you on a daily basis. I'd like to thank my man Al Green for holding things down and making things run smoothly. Shout out to all the folks out there who are making a difference out there in the world, using the platforms that they have. I'd like to give a shout out to Hanley Watches for the official timepiece for On the Mic with Mike. Gather, our friends over at Gather. We'd like to thank our second hour sponsor, Andy Taylor, and Junk Luggers. Like I said, if you have things that you need to have disappeared, items, ladies and gentlemen, not anything else. So make sure you contact Andy Taylor and Junk Luggers. Mike King, WJFN Radio. We're the best. We're bringing you the best game changers around. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks now.
You're listening to WJFN Goochland, WJFN Chester, 100.5 FM, 92.7 FM, and AM 820.